Hey guys, Elite Legionario here, bringing you a 2 vs 2 field battle for Medieval 2 Total War. Now in this battle I'll be playing as England, and I'm allied here with Nexusura, or the Swedish Landsknecht as he's known on his YouTube channel. And I can tell you now guys, he's a good player, nice YouTuber, and just in general he's well worth watching. So I'll link his channel into the description. Our opponent over here also, the Venetian player, Ace of Dave, he's also got a channel, so I'll link him as well. So I'm sure those guys will appreciate your views. And the Byzantine player over here is Forsaken Templar 13. And of course, the Swedish Landsknecht is playing as Russia. So I've gone with England. And my army consists of, I've got 2 peasants for my screening. I always had something screening, it's just my style. I have I believe it was, I think I had 5 units of armoured swordsmen. And I had in the back here, I had 2 units of feudal knights. They've got no upgrades. That's my infantry. Oh yes, they do have upgrades, my bad. They're in the back there. I have, I think it was 4 units of longbowmen and 1 unit of yeoman archers rather, so some nice longbow units there. Longbowmen are cheap. They have got the long range trait and the armour piercing trait, so an extremely good longbow unit for a pretty cheap price, so well worth getting. I quite often use them when I play as England now. For my cav I have 3 units of demi lancers, which is kind of like a medium cav. It's not as strong as some of the other heavy cav, but it's stronger than light cav, so it's still considered heavy cav, but it's really effective. It's one of those cav units that's just really effective in support roles, and it can also do pretty well in a major role if it gets good charge. And out here I have 2 units of English knights as well, just to handle some more heavier cav there, basically. And I have a general's bodyguard as well to offer some support. So that's me. The Swedish Landsknecht, he has 2 units of Cossack musketeers. These guys are awesome musketeers, extremely handy to have. So he's got 2 of those. He's got 3 units of spear militia, which I will admit he uses very well for militia units. The militia units can be used effectively if you just do it right, and he does do a pretty good job of it. He's got 2 units of dismounted Vor there, which is an awesome foot archer unit. He's got 4 units of dismounted Druzina, and 2 units of dismounted Boyar Sons, and 2 units of British Axemen. He's also got, for his cavalry, he's got, I believe it's a general's bodyguard and 2 Sars guards. Sars guard are probably statistically the strongest cav in the game. He's got a mounted Druzina, and he's got a Devor over here skirmishing with these 2 Scythicon. So this battle's been up on his channel for a long time. So, a long time like this. I would have had that much sooner, but various circumstances have stopped me from being able to do so. Because basically at the time my computer wouldn't record things properly, and also because I've been trying to get to 200 video marks to the 200 marker with Rome Total War, so that's why it took 3 minutes over this. But for those various reasons, this is probably a few weeks old, but I am getting it now, so don't worry too much. So anyway, Ace of Dave tried to charge one of his Knights Templars there, but it was intercepted by Swedish Landsknecht's spear militia, and they got shredded by both our missile fires that sat there. So the rest of his forces, he's got a pretty huge missile force. He's got 2 units of muskets, or musketeers, and he's got 3 units of Pubby's crossbowmen, and I believe it is 5 units of Venetian heavy archers. So a really big missile force, but he's not come without other good forces though. He's got 6 units of Venetian heavy infantry, so a really good infantry there, core there. As you can see, it's got upgrades too, it's got the good armour, and he had 4 Knights Knights Templars, my bad. So over here, we were making strikes against these the Byzantine players Varangian Guard and dismounted Latin Con. As you can see, he has a distinct lack of heavy cavalry to assist him, so his infantry's taken a serious beating. Look at all those dead Varangian Guard there. So here we catch one of his only cavalry unit, his Latin Con out here, and then circle it and just destroy it. But as you can see, his force consisted of just a lot of Byzantine Guard archers, Varangian Guards, and dismounted Latin Cons. Good infantry units, but without the proper cavalry support, they're not much use to him. So I just use my general's body card to help the Swedish Landsknecht. He won't really need the help, but you know, it just speeds the process up a bit. So at this stage though, just skirmishing away with these forces out here and whatever else. He does outrange, but it doesn't really matter. Those Cossack musketeers are offering support. So here I did a charge on these Varangian, these dismounted Latinpon, and one charge took them down to 19 all the way from 60. So that's how lethal cav charges are, and basically we'll just repeat the process over and over again, and we'll just tear template to bits basically. So that is why you'll want to always make sure you've got cavalry units in support of your infantry, because otherwise enemy cavalryers have a field day if the player knows how good they are. And that's the thing, in Medieval 2 Total War, cavalry are the supreme force. They rule the battlefield in Medieval 2 Total War. In pretty much every situation, so you want to base your strategies around the use of cavalry in this game, because it's the most effective use. So these guys will skirmish away with their long-range muskets with each other. Now he brings his missile units forward, and what I've done is I've sent my cav out to the far right here, because I know that the Swedish Landsknecht's got my centre, or my far right rather, in the centre of the battlefield. Over here, as you can see, these Byzantine units are getting absolutely pulverised in battle, and now I see a really big opening into the back of his line here, so I think I was going to go after his Varangian guard, but I decided to get his archers instead, because they could be a bit of a nuisance. And the Landsknecht kills the Byzantine general there, and I do cause a bit of damage there, although my general's getting pretty tired by this stage. I see Acer Dave knows his allies are going to desperately need cavalry support, so he pulls off 2 units of his own cavalry here. And when I see him do that, I begin my attack with 3 of my own cavalry, because I realise he's only got 1 cavalry unit left. And I see a big opening here for these Puppies crossbowmen, and I go straight in order to take them out, and I'm going to come around the flank here and encircle these last ones, but they already start to rout anyway. So that's all good. I'm bringing the rest of my cavalry in. As I see that his cav's so far away and distracted by all the action over here, I'm going to force forward. And I've got them into loose formation because there's so many missile units arrayed against me that I have to play it careful. So I basically got rid of 2 of the Puppies crossbowmen units. Here I see a unit of Venetian heavy infantry ready to really good downhill charge on them, which is going to lethally threaten them, and they get shredded down to 36, so half the unit's dead. And I continue to dismantle his Puppies crossbowmen over here. I'm just going to pull out and repeat it, and I've still got 2 full heavy cav units.
Battle while his soldiers still fight. May his infamy follow him.
So here I come down for more strikes against his Venetian heavy infantry. They're the biggest threat to me. So I get another really good charge on them, and I do believe that pretty much destroys that unit, halves it again. I can only assume in the moment, there's my general dying, I've got it carelessly with him, but it doesn't really matter.
Foes quickly. His fate rests with the enemy.
So anyway, I send the rest of my guys in, just going to continually hammer into the flank of his archers here, keep them out of the battle. But I can only assume here, what happens here in a minute is quite odd, that my armoured swordsmen stuff rout really quickly, which is very uncommon, because they actually have very good unit of infantry. Now I'm not all that concerned though, because they did come back, but his Venetian heavy infantry really caused some serious harm to me. Unfortunately, because I got cav right in the back there. This is why you got to be careful of Venetian heavy infantry. If they get a good chance, here I get hit by some of the muskets, and I think, yes, as you see my guys, by the time that musket hit took my guys down to shaken, and they routed immediately, so that's why you got to watch muskets, but it doesn't matter too much, because I've got plenty of cav roaming around, and I got the Swedish Landsknecht in support as well, so it doesn't matter. So he got a very lucky shot there by those muskets that caused a shaken problem to happen. Otherwise, everywhere else in the field, my armoured swordsmen are doing fine. They're a bit shaken because they took a few musket hits, but they've got cavalry support, so that's alright. And I had 2 feudal knights into the backup reserves, so that's good. But anyway, these guys immediately stopped routing and they're back to eager, so he just got very lucky basically. And that's really all that is. So here I charged his last remaining Templar. He does get surprisingly, they do surprisingly well against the downhill charge like that, which was interesting. But at this stage I got plenty of support by the Swedish Landsknecht, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to come around and get the remainder of his troops. I've got my feudal knights coming in, and now I'm coming to the back of his archers. And basically, again, this is cav dominance of this fight. Me and the Swedish Landsknecht just dominated the cavalry fight. He lost his general as well just then, so we both lose our general. But Acer Dave's force finally cracks open. And as you can see, all my armoured swordsmen completely came back into the fight and are ready for more. But there is still quite a few Byzantine infantry as well, Varangian guards and whatever else. Here Dave gets pinned down on these Dvor, and I think there's some militia units in there as well. But he admits defeat. So here I bring in one of my armoured swordsmen to assist, and I'm bringing my cavalry around to get rid of these archers. And I'm going to bring in my own infantry to encircle the remainder of these guys, so I'm going to go right round them basically, as I offer support there. These Varangian guard are obviously going to be pretty tough, but they are two-handed units, so they're going to be glitching out like the two-handers do. And I'm going to come around and basically encircle them at this stage. As you can see, the cavalry is getting rid of the missile units.
The enemy force remains.
And here these dudes coming over. The Swedish Landsknecht is the same idea, so I'll just let him do it, I think. And end up going after a lot of these guys, because he's already got this down and handled, so it doesn't really matter. You got to say, Swedish Landsknecht is a really good player, so, it's very easy to just sort of do what you need to do in the fight, and he knows what he's doing. So, Ace of Dave, he's a pretty good player too, but his ally, I think, was pretty new. Although Forsaken Templar was a nice guy, but he did say he was fairly new, so at the time we did this anyway, so it does always hold you down a bit if you get stuck with a newer player. From time to time it does happen. So, anyway, it's a pretty quick run there, and it turned out pretty well. But I think it demonstrates again the supremacy of cavalry and how to use them and what you should do to get them to work to your advantage. They both admit defeat there, and I think it also demonstrates if you don't watch out for muskets how much morale damage they can do. You have to be careful of that. So there's the stats, pretty much identical kill rates for me and the Swedish Landsknecht. He got 20 more kills than me, however I did get 100 more captures or 80 more captures than him. So I'm probably all up just a little bit more than him all around, but he's more or less right on my tail there. So as you can see, Ace of Dave, he got basically the same amount of kills as we did as well, but far less captures. But ultimately, they didn't work together very well either. So that's why we did so much better there. So if we have a look at the stats here, General's Bodyguard got 80 just from those charges that he did. The English Knights 28, 64. This one also got 151 captures. The Demi Lancers 60, 59, 60. They did lose quite a lot of men, but nonetheless they killed a lot as well. The Armoured Swordsmen, as you can see, they didn't do the greatest because they routed, because he got very lucky with a good musket ball right in their face before they engaged, and it really mucked up their morale, so you had to be careful of that. But I wasn't too concerned. My infantry didn't really play a big role in this fight. As you can see, my longbowmen though, all of them in the 40s, 30s, 40s, this one breaching the 50s, the Yeoman Archer getting 39, so if that continued on, I'm pretty confident they would have got a boatload of kills as well. But ultimately, it's always about the cavalry. As you can see, plenty of captures for the cavalry, plenty of kills for the cavalry. So if you don't deal with enemy cavalry, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt, because they just dominate medieval two-total war, unless you're on very specific maps like woodland maps, and you're in sieges and things like that where they can't get their good charges. Because if they're allowed a good charge straight into your infantry, don't matter what infantry you've got, they're going to suffer huge losses to the cavalry. So look after your cavalry, your infantry with your own cavalry basically, and keep them out of the attack range of enemy cavalry if you can help it. So that's my advice there. But anyway, check out the Swedish Landsknecht's channel and Ace of Dave's. I'm sure they'd appreciate it if you did. I'll link them in my description, so just go to the description and you'll see a couple of hyperlinks for them, and you just click on those and it'll take you to their channels. So thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for those three guys playing. It was fun, I enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon next time.